What up, fight fans? Main man, made man here, up here on the live stream Sunday morning. Fresh off the fights of last night, man. What an amazing card last night that we got. Well, I'm not going to go as far as say amazing, but pretty decent card that we got last night, man. We're going to wait for a couple of people to get up into the live stream, and then we're going to get this thing cracking, man. Let me just kind of share it in a few places. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, and we're going to get this thing cracking. Last man standing, man. Who was going to... Last man standing. Well, anyway, last night, man, let's deal with the Andrade Lara versus Gausha fight. I always get that guy's name mixed up. And he's from my hometown, too. I'm from here in the DMV. And that guy, Gausha, he's from down the street over at Forestville, Maryland, man. So, hats off to him and his entire corner for trying to give a valiant effort. Hats off to Andrade Lara last night, man. Andrade Lara getting the shit booed out of him last night, man. Everybody claiming that it was a boring fight. Nobody was excited to see Andrade Lara as if we were going to get a new person. This is who exactly Andrade Lara is, man. The one thing you got to give respect-wise to Andrade Lara is that no matter whom the opponent is, the guy never, ever changes styles, man. He sticks to what he knows. He sticks to what wins him fights. You know, this guy has been competitive in all of his big-name fights, even the ones he lost to Canelo Alvarez. Like, he was well in that fight and was employing the style that he does best. Now, as far as marketability and us liking the fight, it's boring as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to watch. It's very, very, very boring to watch, man. And you seen last night by the crowds booing him, and they were cheering when the rounds were ending, man. They were just like, they were yelling, boring fight, boring fight, boring fight. Yo, that's Andrade Lara, though, man. Painful as it may be to watch, that's Andrade Lara, though, for those who are new to the fight game, man. But, you know, he got the job done last night, man. He got past Gausha, a fight that no one was calling for, might I add. But he got past this dude, man, and this is what, his 6th title defense, so hats off to him and this entire corner. So the question has to remain, what lies next for Andrade Lara, man? Andrade Lara, we've known that Demetrius Andrade has had the regular title for a while, but now Demetrius Andrade is talking about going up to 160, you know what I'm saying? He signed something with HBO, a multi-fight deal. This basically lays the path for Demetrius Andrade up at 160. All the top fighters at 160 fight on HBO. You know, Gennady Golovkin, Daniel Jacobs just signed a new deal recently. David Lemieux. All of those fights are all now open for Demetrius Andrade. So we don't know where his future will lie at 154. Not to mention the Lara, the Charlos, they do business on the Showtime PBC side of the tracks. And now, you know, yeah, big up to 202 and big up to 301. Yeah, what's up, B. Marsh? What's going on, man? All day, man. All day. Putting on for the city all day. But like I was saying, though, like, yo, what's going to happen with Andrade, man? Like, I don't know, man. Like, yo, I'm hoping he comes back to 54. He say, from what I understand, he's still campaigning at 54, but he got his eyes on 160, and we thought that was going to possibly be next for Andrade Lara. Andrade Lara is basically calling out all the other champions. He wants a unification fight. He wants to fight with Jarrett Hurd. He wants to fight with Charlo. Despite the fact that him and Charlo once shared trainers in Ronnie Shields, they look like they're putting that friendship to the side, man. They're looking to do business because they know the names are short at 54, especially with Charlo and now possibly Demetrius Andrade leaving. They know that the list is getting very, very fucking short, man. So, you know, I want to see Lara basically in good fucking fights, man. I don't want to see the dude at a bunch of boring fights, but it's going to take a good opponent to bring something good out of Andrade Lara. It's not, you're not going to get that, man. It's going to take an elite fighter to make Andrade Lara do things differently. You know what I'm saying? But no one else has been able to crack that code. Now, according to Jarrett Hurd, shit, he got the combination, man. He's saying that, yo, man, I will fight this dude, and on top of that, I know exactly how to beat this guy. You got to respect Jarrett Hurd for running towards that fight. You know what I'm saying? Ain't many people out here wanting to see, wanting to get in the ring with Andrade Lara. And we got Jarrett Hurd saying, yo, I will take this dude on. Major unification fight. The fight is definitely possible. Politics doesn't impede it. They fighting on the same networks. They fighting under the PBC umbrella. It can happen. Just like the Charlo versus Andrade Lara fight can happen. There are very, very little politics that are impeding that fight, man. So hopefully that's something that we will get from Andrade Lara, man. We're getting much more closer to this 154 division kind of unifying itself. Actually, the stage is actually kind of set with the 3 winners of last night, and all 3 of them being champions, and all of them fighting under the same umbrella. That just makes things just that much closer. Now, the only other thing that lies on the outside is the WBO. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is going on with the WBO and Miguel Cotto. He's trying to fight Saddam Ali. He ain't trying to mix it up with the other brothers. So it is what it is, man. But I was hoping Miguel Cotto could have honestly been in the mix. I'm sure if Austin Trout would have won last night, they would have maybe even tried to gin up an Austin Trout versus Miguel Cotto rematch. It would have been a unification fight. It would have been a redemption fight for Cotto in his last fight. It would have been just good boxing. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't get that, unfortunately. But you know, Terrell Gausha, man, he's not gone, man. He shouldn't. I think that, you know, it was a bit of an early step up for him, but and given that he had such a tough style in front of him to try to figure out, I think Terrell Gausha will be just fine, man. Hopefully he'll continue to compete at this level, and he'll remain in the mix of names, man. But moving on to the next fight, Jarrett Hurd versus Austin No Doubt Trout. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Austin Trout, something is not turning all the way with me with Austin Trout. You know, Austin Trout, I think every time he gets up on this level, he shows who he is, man. He can never get over that hump. This guy has not gotten over the hump since his victory over Miguel Cotto many moons ago. You know what I mean? But he's now at this point lost to a lot of the top names at 154. And the question to you will be, yo, where does Austin Trout goes? You know, it's like he's one of those fighters, you know, he's good. He ain't a bad boxer by far. He's a good fighter. But he just could never get over. You know what I mean? He just can't get over that one hump. He's like, I always said it before, he's like the 154 version of George Groves. The only difference is that Groves finally got over his hump, and Austin Trout just can't get there, man. You know, unfortunately, Joe. But man, this is very tough for Austin Trout. I know it has to be a very tough loss for him, given that the Charlo loss was so recent in memory, man, and everyone knows his losses to Canelo and oh, man, just like, you know, Austin Trout, I don't know where he goes, man. I got respect for him. He trains a lot here in the DMV area, man. Like, he shows us, the DMV boxing media, he shows us a lot of love, man. So it's like, yo, you don't want to shit on Austin Trout too much, but it's just like, damn, bro, like, woo, this is like your 3rd strike at it, man. Like, how many strikes you going to get at this thing, man, before people honestly give up on you, bro? Like, it's like, yo, damn, you know what I mean? But however, Jarrett Hurd, man, look, with Jarrett Hurd, let me just say this, man. People going along the line of saying that Jarrett Hurd is this sloppy fighter. Like, he's extremely sloppy. He looks very beatable. You know, I think Jarrett Hurd, in my opinion, has the same thing going for him that, say, like a Gennady Golovkin has going for him. Calm down, calm the fuck down. I'm saying that we all look at Gennady Golovkin and we say to ourselves, oh, man, he looks very beatable. He looks like Floyd Mayweather say, straight up and down, no special effects. And that's the same way with Jarrett Hurd. It's like, you know, he looks sloppy at times, but he has something special in him that allows him to get through these fights. He's now taken 2 back-to-back tough fights, and he's looking to possibly get the unification next. So Jarrett Hurd's power, it's something special about Jarrett Hurd. He hits you harder than you hit him. And his punches do much more damage to his opponents than they do to him. You know what I mean? He's always built like a freaking tank. He stays in shape between fights. He's always very focused. The dude has the total momentum at his back right now, man. Future fights for Jarrett Hurd are going to be nothing but exciting, ladies and gentlemen. So this is another major player that we can surely add to the 154-pound division. A lot of people were shaky even after him winning the IBF title. You know what I mean? But now I think that this dude is really something special, man. Jarrett Hurd is not going away anytime soon, ladies and gentlemen. I see you, B-Mark. I agree, man. Stop the dude, man. So, I mean, all of this talk about, oh, he's so sloppy, and I just don't see him performing on the elite level. It has to stop. It has to fucking stop, yo. There is something good and special about Jarrett Hurd. I believe it's the power. You know what I'm saying? He's always coming forward. He's always making an exciting fight. Trout with power, he didn't sit down on no punches. I agree, but it's not easy to do, John DeJean, when you got a guy in front of you that's hitting you as hard as Jarrett Hurd does, man. Like, This dude dishes out a lot of fucking punishment, and he always makes his opponents go backwards. You know what I'm saying? I was shocked that Austin Trout wasn't able to withstand those punches, man. I really was. And Austin Trout fought one hell of a fight. He fought a hell of a fight on the scorecards as far as punches landed and punches thrown and stuff like that. But just the difference in the power of the punches, man, just showed its head very clearly. But Jarrett Hurd is here to stay, man. Y'all need to accept that shit, yo. Like, if Jarrett Hurd knocks off Charlo or Lara, he will effectively be the #1 fighter at 154. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all need to understand something, man. That dude ain't going nowhere, man. I want to see him mix it up with the other champions. I can see him heading off to 160 soon. And yeah, Charlo will sit down on his pot, and that's enough. That's a thing. But that's if Charlo can withstand Hurd's punches, man. I ain't seen nobody at 54 yet that can withstand it. I'm not saying that Charlo can't. Charlo is as good as he gets at 54, but yo, there ain't been nobody that can stand in front of this kid yet, man. Like, who will it be? You think it will be Charlo? Well, that remains to be seen. But it seems as if Jarrett Hurd he's wanting to take the Lara fight with more. He's like he wants to really take the Lara fight before he takes the Charlo fight. And I find that shit surprising as hell, because who the hell want to get in the ring with that we saw last night with Arislandi Lara? Who the fuck want to get in there with that? Even if you feel like you can beat him, it won't attract no eyeballs. Arislandi Lara is effectively, I mean, like I said, it works for him, but it's so fucking boring, man. Like, and you got Jarrett Hurd willing to get in the ring with that. He knows something, man. I'm telling y'all, man, stop sleeping on Jarrett Hurd. If it was a solid, we'd be all fucked up. Trout has no power, and he didn't beat Hurd. So I agree. He had no power, and he did not beat Hurd. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying. So the question is, who do you guys think out there has the power, or maybe even the body stature to withstand a Jarrett Hurd? You look at Jamel Charlo, man. Like, he's a 154 pounder, but he's a small 154 compared to say like the Jarrett Hurds. He's kind of small. You know what I'm saying? Lara, in his movement, constantly moving, I think that will be the harder. I honestly think Jarrett Hurd has an easier task in front of him with Charlo than he does with Lara, and that's just my opinion. I think that Jarrett Hurd will have a major problem landing on Lara, as if for Jamel Charlo will look there to see exactly what this guy has to ditch out. You know what I'm saying? So if he sits there and wait with Hurd and see what he actually has to ditch out, it's going to be a much more easier route, I think, for Jarrett Hurd. But he's here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all I wanted everybody to know. Stop dissing Jarrett Hurd, man. The guy ain't going nowhere. He is a formidable force at 154. And it's going to be interesting to see when he get in there with Charlo or Lara how this thing will go. Now, as for Jamel Charlo versus Erickson Lubin, you know, I did a video on this fight, and I stated that the big question was Erickson Lubin ready? Erickson Lubin has been rushed basically his entire career, and that's something that no one likes to talk about. But though he's crowd pleasing to us and we love what we see from Erickson Lubin, he's just basically doing what he's supposed to be doing, ladies and gentlemen, and that is beating those lower tier guys to show that he belongs in this level. Well, he got through that test, but to go from there to go to the very fucking top, man, that wasn't smart. You know what I'm saying? And this has been something that's been accused against Erickson Lubin and his handlers for years, man, ever since he was with Mike Tyson. And they made him skip the Olympics, you know what I mean, to go pro. And like, they've been moving this kid so fucking fast. And it's like, yo, you haven't gave him the proper time to step up. Now, with that being said, he got hit with one punch. You know what I mean? It happens. This is boxing. For anyone out there who wants to call this kid a bum and say XYZ about it, how the fuck can you say that when he just got hit with a good shot in the first round? Yo, he was actually, they were filling each other out, and then boom, one good shot. It's always hard to, and you don't really want to criticize fighters too much based on performances like that, because you truly don't know how a fight would have went. But you just know he got to get hit with a good shot, and he could not withstand that power earlier on in the fight. But it's not really critical, you know what I mean? It's not really critical. I agree, man. Hurd has to work on his defense. I agree with that 100%, bro. Like, yo, Jarrett Hurd really has holes in his defense, and his ability to take punches is good now. But yo, how much will that last if he doesn't polish up the defense? By the time he does make it to the Charlos and the Laras, like yo, it's going to be problems. They're going to exploit a lot on Jarrett Hurd, but yet and still his power will be game changing. You hear me here, man? But back to with this Erickson Lubin kid, man. Like yo, man, like I like him, man. Good southpaw. I really do like him, man, and I think he is eventually going to be something good. But yo, like, let's not down this kid too much off this performance, man. I mean, Charlo was running around telling everybody that, yo, why is this kid in the ring with me? Why am I fighting him? He doesn't deserve this fight. He's done jack crap to earn this fight. I don't understand why I'm fighting this kid, you know, and that's what Charlo was saying, and I thought that was wrong then, but maybe it's true. I mean, he did not do anything to deserve that fight. He was just ranked properly, if you will, and that's how he was able to get to Charlo, but I just don't want to be critical of him, man. I don't want to be critical of him. And I'm trying to lean off Erickson Lubin to say that he's this thing because it was one shot, y'all. Like, y'all jumping out the window too fast off one fucking shot, man. I would have loved to see how that fight would have played itself out. But, you know, we just didn't get it, man. Yeah, Lubin versus J-Rock would have been a great step. And Lubin versus J-Rock would have been a great step-up fight, man. That would have been perfect. Something of that level before he got up there to Charlo, yo. Like, yo, it just, we didn't see what he would perform like on that medium level before we seen him at the top. And it was just, it's just not fucking smart, man. These fighters got to remember there are levels to this game, man. There are a lot of levels to this game, and you can't just leapfrog over opponents like that. Well, Erickson Lubin learned. You know, he got hit with a good shot, and hopefully he'll pick his confidence up and he'll go on to be just fine. You know what I mean? Because 154 needs an Erickson Lubin right now. Because aside from Charlo, Lara, Andrade, he's working between both divisions right now. And Hurd, that's all we basically got really at 54. I mean, so we got to keep Erickson Lubin in the mix, unfortunately. And I'm not ready to diss this kid off of one shot. It's just one. You can't criticize one shot. You just can't do it. That can happen to any fucking fighter. You know what I mean? Wish he would have got up. I do. He made a valiant effort to get up, but it is what it is, man. You disappointed. Black Horseman Promotion says he is disappointed in Lubin losing like that. I mean, we all are. We expected a lot more from Erickson Lubin, man. But like I said earlier on, man, like, you know, they should have properly managed this kid, man. Like, I did not suggest the Charlo fight. I thought, like someone said earlier, a J-Rock, a Charles Hadley, something of that nature would have been a good interim step-up fight before he went to the top. But it is what it is. I was disappointed too, but it was one shot, man. You can't, it's just boxing. This is fucking boxing. You can't just diss a guy. I mean, one shot, yo. Like, don't give up on it. All I'm saying is I don't think we should give up on Erickson Lubin just yet, man. Like, not off one shot. Not off one shot. Let's see what he does in another step-up fight. Maybe against a Charles Hadley or against a J-Rock. Maybe even an Austin Trout. I don't know. Let's see how he does in another good fight before we pass judgment on him. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why I hope he bounces back too, man. The Charlos are too cocky for them. Hey, yo, look, man. A lot of people think the Charlos are cocky, man. The Charlos just want their respect. You know what I mean? They can't seem to get it from mainstream boxing fans. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I don't know why. We all basically recognize the Charlos as the main guys at 54. You know, we forget about Earthslanding Lord with his born performances sometimes, but they are some cocky assholes, but they gotta be that way, yo. Like, because if not, nobody'd be checking for them, man. And they do nothing but right. Him and Jamal, man. They don't do nothing but right. They go in there, they get the job done, and they run from nobody. What up, though? What up, though? And they run from nobody, man. You gotta respect the Charlos, man. Laura is born as fuck, bro. Like, yo, somebody beat this man, yo. Like, somebody fucking beat this man. I mean, I'm sorry. Look, it works for Erislandy Lord, though, man. It works for him. How about Charlo versus Hurd? Charlo versus Hurd would be the mountaintop of boxing as of today at 154. Charlo versus Hurd would be one hell of a fight. I don't see neither man backing away from either man. I see them making it a full-time drama show right there in the middle of the ring, man. It will be one heck of a fight. I honestly believe the winner of Charlo, well, I guess I cannot discount Erislandy Lord, man. Erislandy Lord just gotta He's got to give us that fight. I was very disappointed with Lara not running to Demetrius Andrade. Now, Demetrius Andrade, he got to do what he got to do. If it takes on for him to go and sign with HBO to get him some notable fights, then he got to do what he got to do. Clearly, Lara was not running to Demetrius Andrade, and I find that very disappointing. You know what I'm saying? Do I think that Charlo can KO Hurd? I don't know. That's a good question. See, like I said before, man, Hurd is built like a freaking tank. He can withstand damage, man. Like, this is the reason he eats punches the way he does, man. And it's interesting to see, man. Now seeing Hurd operate on this level for the last couple fights, it's like I have no reason to say that he cannot take the punches of Charlo. And Charlo is sharp as fuck, bro. Like, yo, I'm starting to think damn near the only person aside from Hurd that'll give Charlo some real go is his damn brother. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. What I really want to see is Andrade versus Charlo. That's me, honestly. If I had Christmas today, it'd be Andrade versus Charlo. That'd be my number one. Hurd gets the winner. Erislandy Lara has just been letting me down with his performances and his choice of opposition. So it's like, yo, I'm putting him behind those two fighters right now, man. Charlo beats Hurd. He's too big for the division. Yeah, Charlo's big for the division, but Hurd is big for the division, man. I mean, I think Charlo is shrinking himself down to remain in the 154 division. I do think that if he wanted to go to 160 today, he can do it today if he wanted to. Just like I think if Jarrett Hurd wanted to go to 160 today, he can do it easily. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't know what the hell, man. You know, I don't get it what's going on with Andrade. You know, I hear what you're saying that Andrade beats Charlo easy, but let's not forget how Andrade looked in his last fight. And Andrade did not look stellar in his last fight, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But once again, I guess one thing that I do believe that when fighters talk about not being motivated for a fight and they say, hey, you know, this guy didn't get me up out of bed, or this fight, I got to get up out of bed for this fighter. I truly believe that Demetrius Andrade needs an opponent that he can get out of bed for, man. Like, that last fight that he had with, what was his guy, Jack Kulkai, or Jack Kulkai, you know what I'm saying? Like, that fight, I don't think he was really motivated, you know what I mean? He needs that name that's going to say, okay, I'm hitting the gym every day, ready to get up in there, and we're going to get it in, you know what I mean? And these dudes ain't stepping up to Andrade, man, you know? Charlo hater alert. Yo, man, Charlo a good fighter, man. And that's what I be saying, yo. Yeah, Charlo, y'all be saying he cocky and he an asshole, him and his brother. He do that to gain respect. Look at it, y'all still ain't giving the man his respect. This man has been effectively doing what he got to do at 154 and he can't get respect, you know what I mean? It's not his fault that these guys are not getting in the ring with him, yo. Politics are preventing a lot of this shit. In the Charlo's instance, I can honestly 100% say I really feel that Charlo faces anybody at 54. If they sign the contract and it makes sense to Charlo, I think he fights anybody. He's not running from anyone. You know what I mean? I want to bring something else up, speaking of running from anyone. Did y'all see Keith One Time Thurman and Earl Spence on that Showtime panel together? Man, they were talking together and words coming out. It sounds like Keith Thurman was sounding a little shook. You know what I mean? It looked like to me that, and I know we talking 54 here, but, yo, Earl Spence put it in plain black and white. I've been wanting to fight this man since I was 15 and 0. We told him right there to his face. And then we get this long philosophical fucking explanation from Keith One Time Thurman. I love fighting, and it's about this. It's about rising to the occasion, and it's about da-da-da-da-da. Like he's some goddamn samurai warrior or some shit, yo. Like, yo. You know, Earl Spence brings it to these dudes, man. Like, right there in your face, put it in your lap, you fucking deal with it. And these dudes are, like, shaky, man. Like, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Now, in Keith Thurman's defense, the fight should be built. You know what I mean? Yes, they're doing a marvelous job if they get to this fight. All the talk that's been going down, it's going to be a huge fight. But for Keith Thurman to avoid the direct statements of Earl Spence like that, man. Like, you don't see that. This is boxing. You confront that like, yo, who you talking to? Who you talking about? You got to be that guy sometimes, man. And Keith Thurman keep going down this philosophical samurai warrior fucking thing that he be doing. That shit be blowing me, man. Like, yo, Earl Spence is right there, bro. He is right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, a Simply Too Ghetto. I agree with you 100%. He do got like this. You remember at the weigh-in for him and Kell Brook, and you remember how he looked at that at those press conferences, like when they were shedding the weight, and he had like the hoodie on, and he looked like some little little creature just sitting there like with his face like a little alligator or something, man. You know what I mean? What's up, Brooklyn Child? What up with you? And it's like, yo, I kept telling people, I said, yo, that dude, that's the calm before the storm right there. It's something about Earl Spence. He sits there with this demeanor about himself like he's like a quiet killer or something, yeah? You know what I mean? And you can feel it when you're in his presence, I'm sure. Those fighters feel that shit coming from Earl Spence, man. Brooklyn Child says Charlo is a problem. I agree. Hey, look, can we get the Charlo versus Cotto? You know what I mean? Can we get Charlo versus Canelo? What's up with that? You know what I mean? Miguel Cotto, with the bullshit that he's doing, bringing up Saddam Ali from welterweight instead of getting in there with either of the Charlos, man. This is fucking shameful. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all ain't gonna agree with this, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but Miguel Cotto, man, you know, I don't know what the fuck is up with him, man. Yo, he has became such a major opportunist in this boxing game, and everybody's like, yo, he's a Hall of Fame fighter. He deserves to go out the way he want to go, which is true. But come on, man. Like, yo, Cotto, you couldn't give us a Charlo. You couldn't give us Lara. You couldn't give us Andrade. You couldn't give us a reputable name. You got to pull up a welterweight in Saddam Ali where there's zero marketability there. You pull this dude up and you duck the Charlos. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You know, that's one of the most quietest kept stories in boxing, believe it or not. The Charlos are extremely, extremely ducked, man. And it's been going on like that for quite some time now. And a lot of people call these dudes cocky. You know, what do you think about Kell Brook going at 154? God damn. What are you going to do at 54? That's the biggest question. What is Kell Brook going to do at 154? I think Kell Brook going to 154 makes... he will have to really be a cherry pick at 154. If he goes to 154. If he goes to 150, get his ass whooped. If he goes... What up, though, Savage Boy? Hey, we going to get up, bruh. I'm going to get up with you. Real talk. I don't know what Kell Brook... If Kell Brook goes to 154, who is he going to fight? He is going to be a cherry-picking dude at 154. We're talking Liam Smiths. We're talking Liam Walshes. You know what I'm saying? Who we talking? Miguel Cotto ain't going to fight him. Charlo, the man has two bad freaking eyes. He can't get in there with a Charlo. You know, what are we talking? Lara, that may be respectable. But Lara got issues to deal with. Lara has... You've been ducking Charlo problems. You've been ducking Andrade problems. You've been ducking Hurd problems. You know what I mean? So Lara's not in the middle. The question is, why ain't Amir Khan taking the fight? That's the bigger question. What is Amir Khan doing? Why ain't Amir Khan stepping up to face my main man, Kell Brook? Time can't get no more better than now. I actually stopped talking about that fight on my channel because I'm tired of being pulled around. You know what I'm saying? Brook should fight the Australian at 47. Who, Jeff Horn? I agree. That would be you know what? Black Horseman Productions. Good call, bro. Jeff Horn and Kell Brook would be one hell of a fight, but with Jeff Horn, who's looking to possibly monetize off that title, come on. The question would be, is Eddie Hearn going to throw the bag out there? You know what I mean? But they're looking to go, you know, that's a WBO title we're talking about. Remember when you were talking about the WBO and how they want to keep that in that top ranked stable, you know what I mean? So the question will be, will they risk letting that WBO leaving that stable? That's something you got to think about, man. But yeah, Charlo, you know, Erickson Lubin though, man, like I said before, yo, I don't think it's back to the drawing board. Yeah, he got caught with a great, and that's what I've been saying, Brooklyn Child. Like, yo, don't dump on this kid yet, man. Like, he got hit with a good shot, but this kid can actually fight, man. And he's going to be around for quite some time. I just think that we don't pass judgment on him too fast. And I still think a Erickson Lubin, say, versus a J-Rock or a Charles Hatley, very, very good fight, man. You think Lubin's chin has a huge question mark? It's one punch, man. Like, yo, man, it's like one punch, man. I really hate criticizing off one punch. You know what I mean? One fucking punch. I wanted Lubin, though, to take Charlos into the deep waters, man. I really did, man. I wanted Lubin to really show us why he was special, man. And you can't say he's not special when he didn't have the opportunity to show it. You know what I'm saying? It's just one punch, man. It's just one punch. I've been good, Savage Boy, man. I've just been working hard, bro. Just been working hard, man. So, but, we'll see how this all works out. 154 now. But finally got some life going through it now, man. Like I said before, I'm really looking at the Andrade situation because Andrade and Lara should be mixing it up next, given that, he's the regular title holder or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, now he's going between 60 and 54. I want to see what happens with that. I want to see Andrade in there with a Charlo or Lara. I mean, I know we talking Hurd, but Hurd is the last guy to the party. I need to see Andrade in there with one of these dudes before he fully goes to 160. And given his signing with HBO, that just made things that much fucking tougher to do. You know what I'm saying? You gave up on Andrade? Yeah, a lot of people did, man. And this is going to be, honestly... Okay, I got you, Savage Boy. And honestly, this is just going to be viewed badly on Andrade because it's going to look like he's not trying to make the fight. He went over there to sign with HBO. You know what I mean? He is deciding to go up to 160. So you wait till you become Arislandi Lara's damn near mandatory and you say, yo, I'm going to sign with HBO and go to 160? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Yeah, I really like the Charlo twins too, man. I'm really a big fan of Jamal. Jamal is the one with the dog, man. Jamal is the one that I want to see a Jamal Charlo versus a David Lemieux. Yo, imagine the firecrackers in that fight, man. Jamal Charlo versus David Lemieux. Sparks flying all through that shit, man. That would be one hell of a fight. But however, we know that Al Heyman does not do business with Oscar De La Hoya, so that just makes it a world of shit. Yeah, man, it's like ever since that him and Earl Spence been doing their sparring sessions, like iron sharpens iron type thing, and they've been fighting with Derek James. Like, yo, bro, Jamal Charlo is looking fucking sharp as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Charlo is honestly, at the present time, is looking like the best fighter at 154, in my opinion. He's definitely the most polished. He has the experience. Lara has experience too, but this guy has the experience. He's polished. He has momentum at his back. And on top of that, he has one hell of a sparring partner with Earl the Truth Spence, man. Shit, man. Goddamn. And another thing I want to bring up before I end this stream, a little bit off the topic, is that why is Danny Garcia not mixing it up with Showtime Sean Porter? Look, I've said this before in previous vids. I'm an old school fan. I don't get down with that. Sometimes I gotta go and read something separate just to view the politics of the situation before you even talk about it, because you don't know if what fight can be made, And I look at the Danny Garcia situation, and I hear some of you out there crying the blues. Oh, man. He just came off a tough fight. He just came off a loss. So why shouldn't he? Yo, the man took no damage in that fight, ladies and gentlemen. There's no reason why. You got Showtime Sean Porter fucking running around here being Macho Man Randy Savage. It's not so much that I assume that he's ducking, but can you give me a reason, Mr. Akuma's Deception? Can you give me a reason why Danny Garcia ain't fighting Showtime Sean Porter? Why? Give me a reason. He took no damage against Keith Thurman. He claimed Keith Thurman ran from him, right? Yet you got, dude, it's not so much. It looks like ducking because you got a man on social media dressing himself up in some fucking outfit, calling you out. Like, yo, I want you. I want you. He's saying this to you, and you are ranked number 2 and number 3. Like, or is it number 1 and number 2 in the WBC? So what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you say it ain't ducking, dude. What the hell is it? What the hell is it? You got this, man. And then you take a major step down fight. You talking about fighting Brandon Bam Bam Rios? Are you serious? Are you serious? Hey, Garcia's dad versus Porter's dad. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Why Spence didn't go to WBC, right? Because I thought Spence did a smart job by fighting Lamont Peterson. But I thought that when he fought Lamont Peterson, because Lamont Peterson was the WBA regular champion, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I thought if he would have fought Lamont Peterson, that would have made them possibly the mandatory to Keith Thurman. So, the WBC route would have been good, but it will be good for, honestly, Earl Spence, because it will force those guys into the ring with him, man. I'd love to see Spence go that route, but he thought the Peterson route would have put him right next to probably Keith Thurman also. So we seen Peterson vacate his WBA regular title, and like I stated in previous videos, the WBA is in the process of consolidating their belts. They want one champion in each division, and maybe Lamont Peterson seen the writing on the wall that they wasn't going to enforce the Keith Thurman the Keith Thurman fight, so he got up out of the WBA's, rankings or whatever. But I don't know, man. You know what I mean? But I thought this would have been a good thing for Errol Spence, man. I think this would have been, is Jamal Charlo too green for Triple G right now? No. Jamal Charlo is not too green because he's been forcing himself down to 54 for so long. Like, size-wise, he's been ready for 160. You know what I mean? I've been asking the same question, Black Horseman. Like, why did Peterson vacate? I still didn't see any print on it. I haven't seen anyone reporting on it. I've been looking everywhere, high and low, on why did Lamont Peterson vacate his WBA title when this made him the mandatory to Keith one-time Thurman. I don't understand that. Who won scars all in their face from fighting Porter? You got to do something, man. You got to do something. Danny Garcia at welterweight is not Danny Garcia at 140. You know what I mean? Like, Danny Garcia at welterweight, everyone's keep bringing up, oh, he beat all of these guys at 140. Yo, many moons ago. This is boxing, man. Like, and I get, everyone's like Sean Porter's this dirty fighter, low blows, headbutts, this, that, and the third. Well, effectively take that away from him. You know what I mean? This is boxing strategy. You know what I'm saying? He vacated because he won Spence. Yeah, but he didn't win Keith Thurman. That's a lot to say about Lamont Peterson. And Lamont Peterson, another fighter who doesn't nearly get his respect that he deserves. Lamont Peterson has been trying to get big fights for back-to-back as much as he can, man. You know what I mean? So, there's talks about Errol Spence going to be making $3.5 million for a Lamont Peterson fight, and some are saying that this is a kickback from Al Heyman because of them keeping Spence inactive, also not being able to match Spence up with the other guys at welterweight, like Danny Garcia or Showtime Sean Porter, And Sean Porter, man, like, yo, you why didn't you go in there with Spence, man? Why is everybody ducking Errol Spence? Yeah, but you got to beat that, man. Sean Porter is not the first fighter to have a wild-ass style, man. Sean Porter is not the first fighter. If you were this elite boxer, figure it out. Figure it out. You know what I mean? Kell Brook figured it out. Figure it out. Kell Brook figured it out beautifully. So what are you going to say about that? Kell Brook says, okay, this is the way this guy fights. Okay, great. This is the game plan I'm going to employ. And he built himself up body-wise enough to be able to hold Showtime Sean Porter. So do what you got to do, man. Yeah, Peterson, I don't get it. And like I said before, this is definitely evidence of Al Heyman in the mix. Like, if Peterson is literally going to vacate his mandatory position, in which he fought his way to this position by beating, a Venetian. Like, he beat the dude, and he got this mandatory #1 spot, and you just give it up? Like, I understand the Spence fight is there. That's a good fight, and I want to see the fight. You want to see the fight, but why did Peterson give up his position? Thurman said yesterday he wants a comeback fight. Yeah, Thurman ain't coming back to none of the top dogs right away. Y'all can forget that shit. If y'all think he's coming back to Porter, Garcia, or Spence, y'all can forget that. He'll go find him some Luis Collazo level guy before he'll get in the ring with a big name fighter. But I'm wondering who that first big name fighter is going to be, because truth be told, I don't want to see the Danny Garcia Sean Porter fights right away. I would rather see Errol Spence or Lamont Peterson any day of the week before I see those two fights. They've been beat. You know what I'm saying? So, truth be told, I mean, maybe Peterson honestly could have been next, because fighters don't view Peterson as a humongous threat in a lot of ways, So, I don't get it. Can somebody give me something, a link, anything as to why Lamont Peterson vacated his WBA title? And don't give me just, because he wanted to fight Errol Spence. That's not going to lure him away from a Keith Thurman fight. Sounds like Al Heyman is behind the scenes making this thing happen, ladies and gentlemen. So I just don't understand that. But the fact still remains, we seen on that Showtime panel, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman on that panel together. And Keith Thurman just give this long-winded philosophical answer why he's not going to fight the man next, man. You don't think Thurman would have fought Peterson next? Then who would he have fighting? Because he would have had Mandos out the yin-yang, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. Man, Peterson ain't dirty. Man, get over that shit, man. Sean Porter never ducked anyone. The dude got unfinished business with one time. As boxing fans, we should be pushing for that fight first. He lost, bro. He lost. He lost by a significant margin. Like, it wasn't like a razor thin close fight. He lost. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, and then I think really in the rematch that honestly Keith one-time Thurman may figure him out a little bit more better, because sure, I remember that body shot heard around the world that Porter hit Keith Thurman with, and that sent Keith Thurman on his bike. But yo, bro, like, he lost. You know what I mean? You don't just get, there are other fighters who want to get their crack at it. We don't just give Sean Porter another crack when you lost that by that big of thing. They've been way too hard on Thurman right now. I agree. You know, I think fight fans, I do want to see, you know, you got to let Keith Thurman take his time with it. I'm sorry. He earned that right. I know y'all may be like, no, Keith Thurman earned the right, yo. He took on the number 1, number 2 guys at his division. He got rid of them. He did duck my main man, Kell Brook. We're going to leave that alone. But yet, he did what he had to do. Thurman ain't scared of no Spence. I don't think Thurman's scared of Spence either. That's what I disagree with a lot of y'all on that. For anybody out there who thinking Thurman is scared of Earl Spence, I don't know. But like you just said, Thurman is weak to the body. He's been hurt numerous of times throughout his career to the body. You know what I'm saying? Luis Collazo hurt him to the body. Sean Porter hurt him to the body. Imagine what Earl Spence would do with Keith Thurman's body. But if y'all don't think that Keith Thurman is going to stand right there in front of Earl Spence while Earl Spence go to town on his body, y'all sadly mistaken. What happens when Earl Spence was moving around? I mean, when Kell Brook early on in their fight was standing his ground and just coming in from angles on Earl Spence. Earl Spence was in the mix. I'm telling y'all, look, Earl Spence did make my main man Kell Brook quit, but yet and still, if that fight would have went on, we don't know. We don't fucking know. Earl Spence was getting touched a lot in that fight, man. Now, I don't think Keith Thurman is as big as my main man Kell Brook. That may be a major issue. Don't know what the punch differential will be. Like, will Keith Thurman be able to take those punches from Earl Spence? But I don't think Keith Thurman will be there to be hit. And I think Keith Thurman will come in with a hell of a strategy against Earl Spence. My thing about Earl Spence is I'm starting to wonder. Yeah, he has defensive flaws, but can he adjust? That's the number one question I have with Earl Spence. He does everything else well, in my opinion. Defense got a few holes in it, you know, but nothing too bad. The question is, can he adjust? Because we get the same Earl Spence each and every fight. What happens when a fighter forces him to become someone else? You know what I mean? That's the golden question. And that's something that I said that, General Long. I said Kell Brook is a bigger, he was able to withstand a lot of the punches from Earl Spence. And Keith Thurman is not as big as Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? But my question, once again, what happens if Earl Spence is forced to make adjustments? No one has forced Earl Spence to make adjustments. Earl Spence has been free-reigning, walking down his opponents, going down to the body, even taking some punches on the way in, and it's been working for him. Good. But a guy like Keith Thurman ain't going to just let you fight that fight. And that is going to be interesting because we're going to have the mind of Keith Thurman versus the physical power of Earl Spence. I have no reason to doubt either man. I have no reason to doubt Earl Spence. I have no reason to doubt Keith Thurman. I just think that Keith Thurman is a better thinker. He has the higher boxing IQ. And that can be the difference. I don't know. Earl won't get pushed that hard again until he moves up to 154. You don't think Keith one time Thurman will charge him would push him Nino Brown? I think that Keith Thurman pushes Earl Spence. I think Sean Porter pushes Earl Spence. I'd love to see how Earl Spence handles a guy that's coming with just as much force as he is. You know, technically, Sean Porter is big for welterweight. He's competed at 54 in the past. So, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, questions. I think Earl Spence is the real deal. Don't come at me like I don't. You know, I think that Earl Spence ain't nothing but the truth. But, yet and still, there are still a lot of things about Earl Spence that remains. We seen Kell Brook touching him up. What happens when Earl Spence has to adjust? Will he be able to do that? Brook was hurting Spence, backing him up. That's what I'm saying. And if Brook would have never got injured, and from what I can recall, they said he got injured in the fifth round. You know, if Brook never got injured, what happens? I've asked the same question in the Gennady Golovkin fight. Brook took a lot from Gennady Golovkin, and I really thought that Gennady Golovkin shot as wide in that 5th round. I would have loved to seen the next round and how Kell Brook would have adjusted, but that's not here nor there. That's not here nor there. Crawford outboxes all of them. Yo, Crawford, my number 1 pound-for-pound fighter. I don't know anything about that Gennady Golovkin talk. I'm not going there right now, but Gennady Golovkin is not the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, and I will shred that argument. But Terence Crawford, ladies and gentlemen, he is now approaching the welterweight division. Things are going to shaken up a little bit. The only thing I'm concerning, and I'm going to be fucking crystal clear with y'all, unlike a lot of channels. Crawford is going to have problems making fights at welterweight. I don't want boxing fans going saying, oh, that Crawford is ducking anybody. Crawford does business with Bob, okay? Crawford does business with Top Rank. We know the struggles that Top Rank has with making fights with the PBC guys. We know the struggles. Now, they are making fights here and there together, but nothing consistently. So I want people to remember, when Crawford go up to welterweight, if he does not right away get the Garcias and the Porters and the Spencers and all those guys, it's not Crawford's fault. It's not Crawford's fault, all right? I think Crawford takes it, man. Look, yo, Crawford has beaten 147-pound fighters already. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget that. Crawford beat Diaz. Diaz campaigned at 147. You know what I mean? I think Crawford, he spent well enough time down at 140 to allow his body to properly grow into the welterweight division. I think Crawford could have went to welterweight long time ago. I think the only reason that Crawford wasn't at welterweight was because Manny Pacquiao was still actively fighting. Crawford versus Horn would be a great fight. The question is, I don't know if Jeff Horn takes that fight. I think a lot of people, I think Jeff Horn might have wrote a check that his ass can't cash. You know what I'm saying? He said he'll face Terence Crawford. I think that he's going to eventually face Terence Crawford or Pacquiao because, quite honestly, Bob Arum is going to keep that WBO title in the Top Rank stable. So I do think that that fight is going to happen, whether it's Pacquiao or Crawford. But Crawford versus Jeff Horn will be a great early fight for him at welterweight, man. I'm hoping, but the boxing gods gives us Crawford versus Spence. Today, Spence beats him, in my opinion. Today. As of today, Spence beats him, mainly due to size. But once Crawford fully acclimates himself to welterweight, I'm trying to tell y'all something right now. Today, I think Crawford beats Danny Garcia. Yes. Today, Crawford beats Danny Garcia. I don't know Showtime Sean Porter. I think he beats Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, you know, I'm sorry, yo. Y'all live in the past in that 140 shit. My memory is rapidly deteriorating when it's coming to Danny Garcia because he ain't done jack shit lately. You know what I'm saying? So y'all live on that 140 shit with Danny. But today, he loses to Terence Bud Crawford. And Terence Bud Crawford's boxes circles around Jeff Horn. But the difference between me and you is that I believe that Jeff Horn is a good fighter. Yeah. I think that what Jeff Horn did to Manny Pacquiao was smart to pull out of that rematch. Because Manny Pacquiao was going to get his ass whooped yet again. You're damn right. Because Manny Pacquiao was coming into the rematch talking the same way that he was talking in the first fight. You know what I mean? He was underestimating Jeff Horn. There was no robbery. There was none of that shit. That was total underestimation by Pacquiao and his team, and they were doing it again for the rematch. They truly believed that moving the fight from Brisbane to Philippines would have made a motherfucking difference. You know what I mean? I gotta watch the cursing. Sorry, y'all. But it would have made a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, nah, man, you got outboxed. You know what I'm saying? Simple and Simon, yo. Jeff Horn is not a bum. I've been telling people that. Do your homework. Jeff Horn is not a bum. Yet Terence Crawford and Jeff Horn would be one heck of a fight, y'all. One heck of a fight. Pac is 2 fights from being back on the streets of the Philippines. Yeah, man. Hey, yo, man, Pac man get it together, yo. Because I don't know if he settled his debts. I don't know if his issues are done, but Pacquiao, look, man, he's not a bad fighter either. I don't think Pacquiao shot. I don't think Pacquiao, by far, everyone has this thing like he's losing it, this, that, and the third. I just think Pacquiao just got way too much going on. You know what I mean? He's at this point of his career where he should, if he's going to fight, you got to be 100% focused at his age and conditioning. Nah, man, yo. Yeah, Pacquiao, before he trashes his legacy too much, I think he gives it one more crack. One more crack. I'm willing, because even in the Jeff Horn fight, I mean, he was like 1 round away from finishing Jeff Horn. You know what I'm saying? Red Fox, what up, though? Right now, Pac is a part-time fighter. And you can't be a part-time fighter at Pacquiao's age and physical abilities at this point in his career, man. You got to be a full-time fighter. Without the juice, Pac is going to get retired. Yo, y'all don't think that Pacquiao can beat nobody at welterweight? Like, y'all talking like Pacquiao cannot compete with any of the top guys at welterweight. Danny Garcia and Manny Pacquiao is a hell of a fight. Terence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao is a hell of a fight. Showtime Sean Porter, who sparred Manny Pacquiao in the past. Pacquiao is a hell of a fight. I mean, Pac better get his shit together though, man. Broner. Broner, that's it. He beats the brakes off Broner. Man, they should have made that fight when they had the opportunity. Speaking of Broner, what's up with him? I said, what's up with him, man? I don't think that any fight aside from Rigo and Loma are as advanced as Crawford. Yeah, I agree. You know, the Rigo and Loma fight is the mountaintop of boxing, man. The mountaintop of boxing. Skill sets at its best. You know, I'm going to tell people right here, it's going to be a boring fight. It's going to be a boring fight. It's going to be a boring fight. But guys like myself, guys who appreciate the sweet science, guys like Red Fox, you know what I'm saying? We're going to enjoy that fight. But heads up, it's going to be a boring fight. Yeah, Garcia versus Pacquiao would be a hell of a fight. Manny Pacquiao better get it together. Because the new age and the new blood see weakness. And they see blood in the water. And they're coming for Manny Pacquiao. But he better understand that. Crawford can't be pound for pound number one if he moves up. Why can't Crawford be pound for pound number one? Why is Gennady Golovkin pound for pound number one? You know, Adrian Broner, this channel was officially done with Adrian Broner until he shows us something. And I ain't trying to be funny. But I've taken up for Adrian Broner far too much in the past. I have numerous videos. I was like the only person on YouTube like, yo, man, come on, man, let's not give up on Broner. I'm done with Broner, man. I gave him every chance in the book. After him losing to Mikey Garcia, the way it's not so much him losing to Mikey Garcia. It's the way he lost to Mikey Garcia. That's what made me be done with him. But, yeah. But back to this. Triple G is not number one pound for pound fighter. What up from New Jersey? What up, though? World McCray. Thanks, man, for rocking with me, man. Back to Gennady Golovkin. He's not the number one pound for pound fighter in boxing. It's Terence Crawford. He's done it at numerous divisions. Okay, he's totally undisputed. He became totally undisputed. He dominated at numerous divisions. That's something that Gennady Golovkin has not done. Whether you either want to use the unification aspect of it and say, hey, well, Gennady Golovkin had all the titles. He still's missing one, for one. And two, he's never moved up. And, you know, you ask yourself the question of the reason that the pound for pound rankings that were created to see if these guys can compete at heavyweight. And I think that the style of Terence Crawford would just do wonders at heavyweight if they were all heavyweights than say Gennady Golovkin. Crawford is 1, GGG is 2. I agree with that 100%. I'm willing to go that. I think that Crawford just has way too many accomplishments, man. Just way too many. Gennady Golovkin is no slouch. He is definitely number 2 in my book. But Crawford, too many accomplishments, and may even continuously do it if he moves up to welterweight. I mean, the argument is just too fucking easy, yo. Let's not forget the reason that they made the pound for pound rankings. It's not because of the eye test, what a lot of people like to tend to do. Canelo is number 3. Black Horseman. Canelo is number 3 pound for pound? Ooh, wow. Wait, ho. Canelo number 3 pound for pound. You just, like, put a pause in me right there, yo. You saying Canelo is number 2 pound for pound. You're going to put Canelo over Gennady Golovkin. I'd love to hear your argument on that. I'd love to hear your argument. Rigo number 1 if he beats Loma, hands down. Top 5, not number 1. I can't put nothing that would... No one has done nothing beyond what Terence Crawford has done. I compare it anytime someone says to me, they're number 1. You got to compare to what Crawford is doing. And you're telling me what Rigo has recently done in boxing outdoes Terence Crawford. Okay, you're saying resume. Okay, Canelo's resume. So, Erislandy Lara, Floyd Mayweather, whom he lost to, Austin Trout, Zab Zuda was way over the hill. Who we talking? Shane Mosley? I mean, he didn't fight Zab Zuda. I'm sorry, Shane Mosley. Resume. Good argument. Good argument. Resume makes a good argument, but victories is what I tend to use better because once again, what Canelo is doing compared to what Terence Crawford is doing, is he outdoing what Terence Crawford? Canelo is not winning titles anymore. Like Canelo, he's fighting at catch weights. You know, he's getting advantages in these fights. You're not mentioning that, like. You know, a lot of these fighters that he's fighting at, he's not fighting even at full-fledged weight classes. Like when he fought Miguel Cotto, that was a joke of a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like he's fighting under different rules than say the other guys are. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it hard for a lot of people to put Canelo there. It's like, how could you give Canelo number 2 over Gennady Golovkin when Golovkin steadily stayed at middleweight and cleared out the division? I mean, how could we give that? Canelo, everyone's like resume, but he's always bending the rules and shit. You know what I'm saying? I agree. Crawford's resume is just as impressive. Like, he's beaten champions in previous divisions. He's dominated the 140 division. Thurman number 5. So who do you put as number 4? I'd love to hear that lineup. Pacquiao is not top 5 pound for pound no more. Pacquiao is not there no more. Canelo has never dominated any division. I could not agree with that. He's never dominated, and he's never stood on top of a division. He's always kind of skewed around the edges and shit. Like, who was Crawford's? I didn't see that last one, Red Fox. I think they said who was Crawford's best opponent. Who was Crawford's best opponent? It's not so much, I guess you want to say you want to take his best against someone else's best. It's the accumulation of fights. The accumulation at the level that he's been fighting on. Some may say Victor Postol, then some may say Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? But the rapid succession and where he's taking them, you know what I mean? That's what sets it apart from just one name. You know what I mean? Gamboa was no slouch, though, ladies and gentlemen. People forget. Mikey Garcia fucking went on his legal hiatus after being presented with a fight with Gamboa. He didn't take that fight right away. You know what I mean? So, you know, Canelo has a better resume, but Red Fox, Canelo bends rules. Canelo fights at catch weights for titles. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is doing things unlike the other fighters are doing. These guys are fighting according to who, you know, this sanctioning body said they had to fight. They're mandatory. Canelo don't operate in that world. And I'm sorry, yo, like, I'm sorry. Like, and Jacobs ain't too different from Posters. I mean, that's the main argument against Canelo, Red Fox. It's the fact that he fights at these crazy ass catch weights and he bends the rules. Crawford is taking them all on. Adrian Broner won't go within 100 feet of Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? When he was coming down to 140, trying to make all of these scheming ass fights that he was doing, like he wasn't talking Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Bud, Canelo number 2, Triple G number 3. I can't put Canelo number 2, man. I just can't do it. I gotta go with Bud and Triple G as my 1 and 2. 3, 4, and 5. We can mix that up all day. You can't give him fucking credit for no damn Amir Khan. He brought a welterweight up, man. You bring up a welterweight and fight him at a catchweight. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, bro. Like, he's bent the rules way too much. And Oscar, you know, this is the reason why I did not shit on Floyd Mayweather for fighting Conor McGregor. Because guess who was in the same running for that damn fight? Canelo Alvarez. If y'all don't think that Oscar wanted that fight for Canelo, come on, man. Come on, man. Canelo has not done nothing like what Gennady Golovkin has done. I respect way more than what Canelo has done. I'm sorry. Rigo number 3, Ward. Ward is an inactive fighter. You can't put Ward in there no more, man. Ward is an active fighter. And even when Ward was fighting, I don't want to mix it up with y'all on this because I know how y'all gonna get. But even when Ward was fighting, it was already a hard argument to have him number 1 pound for pound. And I always had Terence Crawford there. No one in boxing, I repeat, nobody in boxing, ladies and gentlemen, is doing what Terence Crawford is doing. No one has done what Terence Crawford has done. We thought Gennady Golovkin was going to be the first undisputed champion since B-Hop, right? Well, it was Terence Crawford. Gamboa win don't mean much. He was twice his size. Just the name. But, yo, Gamboa was the recognizable man at 135. Him and Mikey Garcia. And those two were like the 2 biggest names at 35 at the time. And who walks right in there and takes on Gamboa? It was Terence Crawford. It was Terence Crawford. Why did Mikey Garcia fight Terence Crawford? No one talks about, I'm sorry, the politics of boxing. Bob Arum is not going to do business with Mikey Garcia. Is that right? That would have been a great fight. Mikey Garcia versus Terence Crawford would have been one hell of a fight. But you don't see Mikey Garcia run into that fight, do you? You just don't see it. Oh, come on, man. Yo, like, Yeah, he was bigger than him, but yeah, I mean, come on, man, you can't. That argument can be used across boxing, bro. Like, come on, man. Yeah, if Mikey, but I don't know, Red Fox. You know, Mikey Garcia has bad history with Bob Arum, and you know, Bob Arum is not going to look to make that fight with Mikey Garcia without trying to rob him blind. But yo, I think Crawford and Mikey would have been one hell of a fight. It would have been one hell of a fight, and that would be the fight that I'm mad that we robbed of by Terence Crawford leaving 140. Crawford beats Garcia. Yeah, I don't know, man. Mikey Garcia, I've underrated the dude. I've went against Mikey Garcia on too many fights, and Mikey Garcia just keeps proving me wrong. Like, I don't know. Truth be told, y'all may not agree. I don't know who wins between Mikey Garcia and Terence Crawford. I just don't know, bro. Like, yo, Mikey Garcia is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford is the truth. I mean, I truly don't know. Yo, I don't understand why Mikey Garcia is not going to come and just campaign full-fledged at 140, man. Yeah, I mean, Bud, both of these dudes are the truth. But, yo, I hope it does happen, man. That would be the fight that, yo, I can't think of a more 50-50 fight, in my opinion, than Terence Crawford versus Mikey Garcia, yo. Like, right now, we all know that Terence Crawford will have to grow into welterweight to fight a Spence or to fight a Porter. His body got to get a little more bigger. But today, him and Mikey would just make a phenomenal fight. Did y'all hear that talk earlier this week about Mikey Garcia and Miguel Cotto? And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to Miguel Cotto. You got this wonderful 154 card that went down last night, right? We had all the top 54 names there. Yet Cotto is looking to fight Mikey Garcia or Earl Spence. Like, what the fuck? Like, yo. All right, whatever. But why are we even talking about Mikey Garcia and Miguel Cotto is the major question. You're telling me that Miguel Cotto, who fights at 54, who even fought at 60, is willing to fight a 135-pound fighter? It's no way that Garcia power was currying up that high, man. No way, yo. Like, no way in a million years. Yeah, but why is Cotto talking about that, Red Fox? Why is he not talking about Charlo? Why is he not talking about Andrade? You know what I'm saying? Why is he not? I mean, I don't understand it. Or is this more Oscar? Is this some Oscar shit? You know, because we know Oscar talk, I want to make the best fights crap. Yet now we're hearing that, yo, he was using Cotto as a bait and switch, basically, to hook fighters into promotional deals. Like, really? You think, y'all think Crawford would be the favorite against Garcia? I don't know. Because, look, I mean, y'all really seriously think Mikey Garcia would have defeated Miguel Cotto? Y'all really, I would have preferred to see Miguel Cotto rematch fucking Margarito. You know what I mean? Even though Margarito just robbed Carson Jones in Mexico, I still would have rather seen him beat the shit out of Antonio Margarito before I saw a Mikey Garcia fight. I'm sorry, man. Like, yo, Mikey Garcia ain't got no business in the ring with no Miguel Cotto. It's nothing pure of an exhibition fight. But Crawford, yo, I'm telling y'all, man, Crawford is going to be a serious problem at welterweight. I mean, a serious problem. Yeah, Cotto did the same with Rock Nation. I've been attacked by a lot of fans out there over videos about me criticizing Miguel Cotto. They say, man, give Miguel Cotto his respect. Man, let Miguel Cotto go out the way he wants. He's a Hall of Fame fighter. Fuck that. Miguel Cotto has been getting over for years. Miguel Cotto's been getting over since Sergio Martinez. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Joe. Like, yo, you want to fight Canelo and then want to vacate the belt, like fight the fighter to catch. Miguel Cotto has been getting over for years. Yeah, never fight a fight in Mexico. Carson Jones should have known better than to take his ass back down there to Mexico to fight Antonio Margarito. Carson Jones was like this close, for those who haven't seen it, from stopping Margarito, and they stopped the fight off some crap flurry and say that, yeah, that was just bullshit, man. That was just bullshit. Yeah, man, Cotto need to go somewhere, man. I ain't trying to be... I'm ready for Cotto to hang him up, man. Like, to me, Cotto is making nothing but a mockery of the sport. Miguel Cotto needs to go somewhere, go to Puerto Rico and do whatever the hell he does. Get out of boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Get the hell out of boxing, man. Miguel Cotto is what's wrong with boxing, in my opinion. I have respect for what he's done in boxing, but get out of boxing. Just get the hell out of boxing, man. Get out of boxing, man, because, yo, you're not going to take on nobody worth mentioning. You ain't going to fight. They was even talks about him facing David Lemieux. They not even going to do that now, man. They talking Mikey Garcia. Dang, you talking Saddam Ali. Like, get the fuck out of here. Miguel Cotto, get out of boxing and take your opportunist ass somewhere else, man. We're tired of looking at Miguel Cotto, yo. I'm sick of Miguel Cotto. How could you not want to fight Jermell Charlo after that performance he just did last night? How could you not? How could you not? You don't see Miguel, man, you don't even want to, Miguel Cotto didn't even want to get in the ring with my main man, Kell Brook. So, like, yo, Miguel Cotto, just fucking go away, man. Just go away and get out of boxing, man. And I want to touch on one last thing. Oh, David Lemieux and Billy Joe Saunders. Hell of a fight. I will discuss that in future videos. But one last thing I want to talk about before I get off of here. Deontay Wilder and the other guy. I got to mention. I got to bring up Deontay Wilder's situation and the other guy. We know Deontay Wilder is going to face Bermane Stiverne. Lay off Deontay Wilder. Lay off Deontay Wilder, fight fans. The man is effectively trying to get the other guy in the ring. I think we're going to get it. Maybe in 2019. Maybe in 2019. You know what I'm saying? But World McCray say he'll fight Cotto right now. Bomb squad all day. If I got any UK fans, Red Fox, if I got any UK fans on this stream, bomb squad all day. Yo, tell that dude to stop ducking. And y'all know who I'm talking about. Tell him to stop ducking. Tell him to stop throwing this crap out there. What people got to understand at this present time, ladies and gentlemen, don't give me no crap about super fight build-ups. AJ is just trying to build up the fight. AJ is trying to build it up. He is doing the right things. No, he ain't. This fight is already a super fight. Don't give me that crap. Bomb Squad wants to fight. What is up with AJ? He wants to go and fight his 4-round fight with Pulev. Granted, great. Now, from what I understand, right, everybody out there like, yo, he's going to fight him in summer 2K18, man. He's going to fight him in summer of 18. I'm hearing all these names floating around now. Why am I hearing that the other guy wants to fight Pulev, right? Then he wants possibly Joseph Parker, right? And what? Now I'm also hearing that Eddie Hearn offered Luis Ortiz a fight, right? Everybody who out here talking this, well, man, it's got to be built up. He's selling 70,000 tickets with Pulev. What does he have to build up with? Don't know Deontay Wilder in the UK? That is the crappiest excuse I've ever heard. That is the crappiest excuse I've ever heard. Let me tell you something. AJ knows what's good for him. And to not mess up his money machine right now, to not mess up him and Hearn's flow of dollars right now, they refuse to get in there with my main man, Deontay Wilder. Yeah, you seen Pulev? Pulev look like he has the body tone, he has the body shape of a guy in a wheelchair or something. Like, yo, like, are you serious? Like, are you kidding me? You want to duck Bomb Squad for this. Pulev in 4, bro. Pulev in 4. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, I said Pulev. AJ in 4. Nobody wants to see that fight. 70,000 of y'all got duped. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was, man. The question is, should the fight go down here in America? If it does go down between whenever it goes down, should it go down here in America or should it go down in the UK? I will say that the UK does sell more tickets, but however, America sells less tickets at a higher price. So if you want more money, I think the money may be here. You know what I'm saying? Look, don't give me that Mando crap, Red Fox, okay? Boxing at this level is bigger than belts, okay? Boxing at this level is bigger than belts. Look, I'm an old school fan. I'm very old school. I love the old school era and the old school rules. But one thing that I had to adjust and conform to is today's boxing. And one thing that I know about today's boxing, once you've built yourself up to be this super prize fighter, right? This popular fighter, you become bigger than belts. So you're going to sit back and tell me that this guy's not bigger than belts? I mean, come on. The numbers would have still been there. The fans would have still been in the seats. The pay-per-view still would have sold. That's bullshit. Because when he wanted to fight other champions, he ran towards them. But when it comes to this one, though, I don't want to run towards him so fast. I want to throw this obstacle, that obstacle, this obstacle. Here's Dillian White. Here's the mandatory positions. Then after that, I want Luis Ortiz. Oh, Wilder, you got to fight someone else. Next is going to be the fight has to be in the UK. I don't know. Whatever's coming. All I'm saying is there are zero excuses why this fight can't happen after their next set of fights. All right, you want to give them the Stavern fight? Fine. You want to give them the Pulev fight? Fine. After that, it got to happen. Yeah, he knows. Look, let me explain something. I learned a lot from this dude when he fought the 40-year-old. When he fought the 40-year-old guy coming off a loss, being inactive after a year. When he fought that guy, I learned a lot. Movement and the stamina levels of AJ, questionable. This is why I think Tyson Fury boxes circles around him, man. Circles. Yeah, I know. But he didn't care about the Ortiz man, though. Yeah, he got to run towards the Pulev man, though. But when Ortiz was right there as his WBA man, though, it was like, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to do... I'm just sick of it. You know what I'm saying? How is a champion not ranked in the top 5 or 6? They should be. You would think so, but sanctioning fees, bro. That's why. I mean, these guys want these sanctioning bodies want their titles on popular fighters. Period. Point blank. Okay. Well, you be patient. And we'll hope it happens. Let's just not hope it happens when Wilder breaks another bicep or breaks another hand or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they aren't. Yeah, that's another thing. Title holders, no, they can't be ranked in other sanctioning bodies. That's just old school rules. That's been going down for years. But they can be unified, but they can't be ranked in other sanctioning bodies. If you're a champion here, why? Who knows? It could be anyone's argument. Knockout of the year, hands down. That Charlo knockout over Lubin, possibly knockout of the year. No doubt about it. That dude was like twitching on the ground and stuff, man. Like, I hope he all right, man. Hats off to Erickson Lubin, man. I hope he all right after that knockout, man. But that is hands down knockout of the year, y'all. So, good set of fights last night, man. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed every single second of it, man. All of them. I got to go back and watch the Leo Santa Cruz. I didn't see the Leo Santa Cruz fight, man. Also, one more thing. Chris Eubanks versus George Groves. Very, 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 very much looking forward to that fight. I want to give Chris Eubanks that stamp of approval, but I ain't ready yet. Jamal Charlo, Chris Eubanks Jr. Great fight. Great fight. But like I was just saying about Chris Eubanks, I'm not ready to stamp him yet. I'm just not. I need to see the George Groves fight. It was a bullshit stoppage in the Santa Cruz fight. Yeah, I'm about to watch that. I'm about to turn that up right now. I missed that last night. But Eubanks look phenomenal against that dude Yildirim, man. Like, Eubanks is exactly the epitome of what you see when someone brings along a fighter properly. Like, his father has nourished and guided his career right. Tip-top condition, always in tip-top shape, employs a game plan, stays focused, and he just lives the life of a fighter. I like Chris Eubanks, but I'm not ready to stamp it yet until he steps up, in my opinion. I need to see the George Groves fight. If he wins this World Boxing Super Series tournament, I got a lot to say about Chris Eubanks, in real talk. But Jamal Charlo, right now, him and Eubanks, only reason I even give as much towards Eubanks as I would is because of size. Once Jamal Charlo fully acclimates himself up to 68, I don't know. That remains to be seen. But right now, I'm going to lean skill-wise towards Jamal Charlo. That's just my opinion. I think Jamal is just something special. And I can't wait to see what happens once he gets in there with, say, a Danny Jacobs. Why ain't they making Danny Jacobs Jamal Charlo? Why ain't they making Danny Jacobs Jamal Charlo? These two both share Al Heyman. Why can't they do this? These two want Gennady Golovkin, but they don't want each other. Fuck out of here, man. Yeah, he does. And even that last flurry that he finished the dude Yildirim with, I thought was like, it was good, but it was kind of weak. It's like a lot of those punches didn't look like they did a lot of damage. You know, he was just like, just slapping him around a little bit. You know what I mean? So I'm just not fully sold on Chris Eubanks Jr. yet. I need to see what he does against a George Groves or maybe a Darrell or maybe, you know, maybe his rematch against James DeGale or something like that, man. Will Charlo ever fight Canelo? Will Canelo ever fight Charlo? Canelo's the cash cow. Canelo could do anything he wants. Canelo is going to duck everybody. You know what I mean? Canelo is going to keep playing this game of trying to get over on fighters when he know damn well he's not going to get in there with the Charlos. Or, you know, I mean, or Andre for that matter. Andre's up at 160 now. You know what I mean? Or Daniel Jacobs. Why he ain't in there with Daniel Jacobs? Like, Canelo has been conning us for a long time. A long, long time. And for some of y'all out there to have him top 3 pound for pound, it just baffles me, man. Baffles me. I'm sorry. Look, my batteries are dying, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting flashes left and right from my recording thing here. Like, yo, gotta end it. So, yeah, they deserve 3GG fight. Charlo hater alert. Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. But, yo, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Black Horseman, Jean Dijon, Ruben Valentine, Red Fox, all of y'all out there rocking with me on this stream, man. I really appreciate it. Keep on tuning here where we are always going to keep it 150,000% boxing. You dig what I'm saying? Peace, man. I got nothing but love for each and every last one of y'all. And I see y'all on the next stream. Peace out.